So this is uh monumentous, monumental, a monumentous. Is it monumentous or is it monumental? Occasion, America, America. Man, it's like you know, it was a lovely touch that when I walked out my door, you know, and I went to go get my celebratory drink. You know, it was so nice to see, like, there was such a well timed. I mean, you know, just by chance, because coincidences and all are just coincidences. And it's like it was nice to see, like, like, as it was nice to see as something drove by, like, the perfectly laid out cross. Oh, it looked like a cross. I mean, it looked like, seriously, like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You know? The crucifixion of Jesus. It's like all the people that just need to stick to fucking what needed to be done and not fucking so much worry about the fucking. Do you understand what I've just done for our country? Hmm? Do you do you do you do you fucking know-it-alls know more than I? Sometimes at this point, I wonder. I really do wonder. You know, how could the fucking people that make no mistakes be so freaking stupid to choose me as their savior? With all of everything that I've ever went up against, and I mean I've stood toe to toe with. I mean, if you think fucking El Chapo, the fucking, hey, the dirty thin shits. I'm just saying. You ever hear that expression? It's like when you're going in, when you're putting the tongue straight in the fucking, and you get the fucking, it's like, hey, right. So anyway, so the El Chapo. Now I've went up against people way worse, way worse, beings that are way worse. I think the thing that gets to me is, like, the people who made sure that no matter what side I was on, I would get treated like shit by everybody. You know, people that look to know more about life. And then there are the people who, even if they find answers, they don't even know that they're answers staring them right in the face. And they make judgment calls. If I was to pluck 1 grain of sand off of this entire planet and place it in your hand, would you even realize if or if not that could possibly be the key to the entire universe? People say, that 100% means all. Well, I will say that 198% would tell you that that's a grain of sand. That's all it is. It's like, imagine if you were a kid, right? Imagine if you were a kid, right? And imagine if you had to go up against some of the most wicked people on planet Earth, right? And then imagine if you, not only having to go up against these wicked people, were Jesus Christ. Someone that these people would love to eliminate completely. But nobody truly understands what Jesus Christ is. And so many people do not understand the actual depth of wicked evil. And then could you imagine if Jesus Christ taught some of the wickedest people on earth things that advance them in their wickedness? Could you imagine that? And then even after Jesus turned around and you, being Jesus, helped the most wicked, evil people on planet Earth, their reward to you was to let you know, thank you, we are now going to put you into a pit in our living room floor so that we can bring you back to life every Christmas to watch your wife get fucked by our whole family. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Now, some could sit there and say, call me a traitor, and they can tell me that I'm fucked up. and they could say a lot of things about me, and yet they never walked even one day in my shoes. I used to have my friends, when I had friends, or what I thought were friends, or close to friends, or whatever you want to call that side of life. I had a friend, but so many different friends. You know, it's like it wasn't one, but I'll just say that any time my friends would challenge me personally, you know, or be jealous of me, or this and that. It's like I gave them opportunities to see what it was like to be me, you know? And I'll say not a lot of them, actually none of them. None of them could walk even 400 steps, 300 steps or so. Didn't have a ruler, you know? In what would be my shoes. I said, you know, could you imagine helping people that threatened your life in such a horrible, fucked up way? Could you imagine helping those people because you loved somebody? And weren't exactly sure of who that person was? Therefore, you would have to love as many people as possible so that hopefully you protect the one that you love. I stood up a lot against I stood face to face with some of the most darkest magic anyone could even imagine existed. And I watched people make fun of the little boy who felt fear then. Because I mean seriously, like how many people would not be afraid of a fucking, you know, literally a fucking spider the size of a fucking mountain lion. I mean, you know, it's like go fuck yourself. Seriously, go fuck yourself. If you say anything other than that. That what I'm saying is science is magic. Science does wonderful things. Science also does very, very, very deeply concerning things. You got light, you got dark, you got forever beginnings or forever endings. There are people that don't want to In a world where everybody was a trader, how do you find out who the real traders were? If you do nothing prior to the situation, you go nowhere, and eventually an outcome happens that, whether prepared for the situation or not, you completely miss out. Then, if you go in first, everyone that comes after feels that they deserved because they could have chosen that same path. And that gets broken down to, if everybody on planet Earth was walked past a particular button, nobody knows what it does. Out of the 7.5 or so billion people on planet Earth, how many people do you think would pass that button before somebody hits that button? I said in a few videos just recently, it's like, all these people that sneered in my face how easy it was for them to open their mouths to the right people. You know the problem was? You know what the problem was? Not everybody found the right people. They just opened their mouths. They didn't put no actual thought. There was some. Nobody actually put some. The very smartest supposed people did not put very much thought into who they'd run to. Every decision that was made prior to me having to make a decision added more and more and more and a lot more, and until my plate was so overwhelmed, so past any other plate on the table. Now, metaphorically, you could be like, well, goddamn, Jesus, you look like a greedy ass motherfucker. And I'd be like, nah. I eat till I'm full. And then there's usually way more left over, because I always eat by myself anyway nowadays. Actually, I've been eating by myself for pretty much how many? I forget my own birthday. I don't even sometimes realize when my own birthday is. Not the day, or every holiday. That's been just like every other day. And that's not, that's people can say those words, but until you've actually spent that much time alone. It's like, it's like for me to have faith is amazing. I appreciate all the people that put so much onto one person's plate. That it looked like I was the greediest fucking person on planet Earth. I've seen so many people be so filled with cowardice. And yet my name means bull. And all I've seen in my life is bullshit. From all the cowardice people who thought that it was okay to do what they did, even against their own people, because they thought they knew more. And yet, as of right now, I immediately see that people still, for some fucking reason, think they know more than me. Think that they are somehow, in some fucking way, in all of what has already been word for word handled better than me. See, I believe in things that don't run this world. They don't run this world because they've seen what doing those actions lead to. And they get tired, and they get pissed off, and they get sickened. It's such a beautiful place in this world. This world is a beautiful world. And yet, so I just want to leave you with some of the thoughts that are going through my head tonight.